What's up, YouTube? Hobo Nichol BBQ back with you again with the hot seat. Today, as always, we've got our co-host Scott in for the grill. Somebody's got
that was me. Sorry.
Scott coming through as always. I'm just happy it wasn't me. So, anyways, what's up, YouTube? Hobo Nichol BBQ back with you again with the hot seat. As always, we've got our co-host Scott in for the grill, and today we've got Kirby from Kirby's FishNGrill. What's up, Kirby?
What's up, everybody? How you guys doing?
What's up, folks?
Go through the chat real quick. We got Eric Roundhouse Ranch Barbecue, Johnny Texas Style Barbecue and Cuisine, Christie's Cooking Channel, Keith Bettag, Daddy Dutch Barbecue and Cooking, Smoking and Grilling with AB, Tango Joe, Mr. Mega Fred Zeppelin, Everyday Barbecue, and I'm not scrolling up any further. Paul's Q and Barbecue Pit Dog. All right, Kirby, where are you from?
I'm from the hottest spot in California you could think of, man. I'm from Brawley, California. It's just a big old desert, and yeah, there ain't really much out here. I need to get out of this hot hole over here.
You grew up there, or did you end up there?
Born and raised, man. I've moved out. I've been to Palm Springs, San Diego, Riverside area before, but I always ended up moving home, and family's all here. Met my wife. Her family's all here, so doesn't look like I'm getting out of here.
All right, I see Mr. Mega Fred Zeppelin is here, so I'm going to change the status quo and do his question right off the secondary rip. Favorite bands, music styles, etc.
I could dig that one. I'm a big Korn kid, man. Korn is one of my favorite bands. I love rock. I'm like an alternative punk kid. Yeah, I'm like all over the place. I love hip hop. I love rock. You know, I just grew up in that era where everything was hot.
Gotcha. All right, for anybody that's watching that's new to this, if you have any questions you want me to ask Kirby, put them in the chat. Scott will write them down and ask them as we can fit them in. All right, so what's your real job?
I am a nerd. Basically, what I do is I provide technical support for a big healthcare organization. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. Mess with IP phone systems, computers, servers. Yeah, I'm the guy that messes with all the computer stuff. So it's, you know, it pays the bills.
Right. And for the record, I think Kirby is the person to get on here the earliest for the show, have the least amount of problems. Though he had one, it was his wife's fault, though, so I'm not going to fault him for that. Unless she's watching, then it was my fault, and you had nothing to do with it. He didn't tell me that.
Just say it was me. I was messing with them on my computer.
All right, so what made you decide to start a YouTube channel?
Student loans, man. It was about sometime last year. I got hit with my first student loan bill. You know, for anybody seeing a new $600 bill attached onto their budget, you know, it's you start thinking, what should I do for a part-time job? And yeah, I just, you know, that's how I came about it. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do YouTube. Well, guess what? YouTube hasn't paid a bill yet. But yeah, right. That's how I started. Yeah, I've just been all over the place with other content, you know, beforehand. And beginning of this year, I decided to make a change and do something I love. I have a huge passion about cooking. I'm talking about since I was young, in teens, you know, want to do cooking. And yeah, it's been fun since I changed it up.
All right, just so you're aware, your wife is in the chat. I'm sure you probably saw it.
Yeah.
And it was not her fault. And if at any point in time you want to have her jump in here or anybody else, you're more than welcome to.
It's all me, man. I'll be here.
All right, so family life, wife, kids, we know we got a wife.
Yeah, we got a wife. I got a wife. Been married for going on our 3rd year. Been together since 2010, so almost 8 years. We got 3 beautiful kids. They're growing too fast, to be honest. But yeah, I'm a dad. I love it.
All right, so I'm gonna put you in the one of the fun questions, which is talk about your time when you were hanging out with AB.
Talk about my time hanging out. Hey, you know what? You need a lot of energy to be around that man. I'm gonna tell you that right now. AB is so energetic. I mean, you can learn a lot off of that man. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Um, yeah, he's you got to be on your toes. Just put it like that. Because he's not only is he like all over the place. He's very knowledgeable of what he does. So it was a really good learning experience for me because I haven't really met like another YouTuber besides my friend in El Centro. He does fishing videos, but I don't talk to him about like YouTube stuff. It's more like just life stuff. Or his videos or my videos or whatever. But to actually speak to somebody that actually has the experience and the knowledge about YouTube, it really, really did help me. So I really appreciate meeting him. It was an awesome experience, and it ain't gonna be the last one. I'll tell you that right now.
Right. So, with me doing research on your channel, I saw some gaming stuff.
Yep.
So, what all's on there besides just the cooking?
I got gaming. To be honest, I'm kind of happy I gave up on the gaming. The gaming was just when I first thought about doing YouTube. I was looking at my little brother watching a guy doing YouTube and Twitch TV, and my brother's like telling me, "Hey, this guy makes this. He has this type of following and everything." And I was like, you know what, I could do that. I got the computer to do it. I was like, you know what, I could jump in there and be able to handle something like that. And that's where my channel actually came about, especially with the student loan coming up. I was like, yeah, I need to find something to make that payment. But after doing that for about it was January. To be honest, in November, I think I hit like a drought where I was just like, I don't want to do this. But then I tried, reviving my channel with the gaming stuff, and until January, like I was literally not wanting to do any gaming because I mean it just took up so much of my time. Like I said, I am a father, so it took up a lot of my time, and I just was done with it. So I finally decided, you know what, I got a lot of hours, a lot of man time put into this channel. I actually have a lot of watch time hours, because of it. But so I was like, well, instead of making a whole new channel, I'll just change it up and do something I love, and
Right.
that's where it's all been,
So, what do you film with?
My cell phone. That's why you don't see no fishing videos, is because I don't have an action camera. It's waterproof, and I'm not dropping this bad boy. This is $900. I ain't dropping it in the water.
Right. Say what's up to Jamie Stabler. I think.
Hi, Jamie.
First time I've seen her in the chat. So what's up? I know she's.
What's up, Jamie?
She's always over at AB's channel. All right. So what kind of cookers do you have? What's your typical type of cooking things you do on your channel?
You can't really, well, to be honest, like I cook more like on the healthy side. You probably don't see a whole lot of that on my channel because I'm trying to keep up with the Joneses a little bit. But on a normal dinner, it's more like lean meats, a lot of veggies, and some type of sides that I saute a lot of veggies. But yeah, on camera, I try to put out what people want to see. Fat people got to eat, but we got to eat healthy around here.
All right, so I see somebody else new sent 1000's asking what's the subject. Thanks for stopping by. This is Kirby. He's got a cooking channel. Every Thursday we interview cooking channels. Well, not only cooking channels, but it's what we do. All right. So who taught you how to cook?
Well, I mean, I have a lot of women in my family. So, I mean, family events, everything, you know, all them women got into the kitchen, just started doing their thing. You know, my mom would have to be the biggest influence on cooking. So at a young age, I was already cooking stuff. And I think when I actually hit high school, I remember being on a wrestling tournament. We were actually traveling that way. We stopped at this restaurant. And, you know, when we went into this restaurant, it was actually my coach's sister-in-law's restaurant. And when we went in there, that's when really like the curiosity of like everything kicked in. And, you know, from there, I just had like a huge passion of wanting to do cooking, wanting to be in the restaurant business.
I can't stop fucking laughing because there's the fucking Scott's got doves behind him or some shit.
Yeah, I was about to say it tripped me up a little bit. I was like, "Are you guys messing with me, or is that like?" I had to keep going.
I did my best to keep composure, and then reading the chat. Scott, Fred asked a question, and something about the Niners. Did you catch that?
Yeah, I seen it. Hold on, I could recap on that. Fred, you know what? To be honest, I wish they threw the Kaepernick back in there. But you know what? Really put him to use and train him. That might be just my opinion, but you know.
All right, I got to get back on track here. So what's a weekday meal look like at your house?
Chicken. something with chicken. Every now and then pizza for the kids.
Oh, the cap answer's not going well in the chat, at least for Red. All right. So what's the favorite video you've made and why?
You know, each video that I create, you know, as I look through them, you know, I'm getting better. You know, this whole YouTube thing is really a learning experience, especially, you know, me doing something else a year ago and then all of a sudden changing it up. Now I got to be in front of a camera. Now I got to talk, and you know, you see my backyard. If I don't cut my grass that weekend, well, guess what? I got a jungle back there, and sometimes I don't feel like cutting it at like 110 degrees. So, you know, so yeah, it's completely different. You know, so I am learning a lot. There's actually a couple videos that I look back on. I'm like, man, I wish that one did better. You know, but my channel is growing, so you know, the only thing I could do is just focus on the next one. And that's basically what I've been doing, is just focusing on the new content.
Right. So I seen Jamie wants to know what your favorite food to cook is and why.
I love Italian food. You know what? I've actually, no, hold on. Yeah, that's kind of like a broad question because I love like Asian food. I love Asian cuisine. I've never really had French cuisine, and that's actually something I would love to learn. I cook a lot of Mexican food. I grew up on Mexican food. I grew up on American food. You know, since I am a biracial, I guess you could call it. You know, my mother's white, my father's Mexican. So, you know, my mother's side, they had like a lot of like the Southern dishes. Actually, I think they're like have like a Russian background. So they have like, you know, some Russian dishes like pierogis and stuff like that we make for holidays. You know, and then I have my father's Mexican roots, and, you know, they just, you know, pump out all that delicious Mexican food that everybody loves. So yeah, you know, I like a lot of, I'm not picky at all. So
right. I just asked Scott to let me know when the bird stops, and he says when he shoots it. All right.
Yeah, when you hear that shotgun go off, then you know he's done.
Meathead wants to know if Kirby's your real name.
Kirby is actually my nickname. My real name is Anthony. I grew up off of that nickname for years, man. Actually, the Nintendo Super Nintendo. No, it was actually Nintendo. The character Kirby from Nintendo. Kids, kids. They gotta make fun of you or whatever. And since I'm like really white complected, and I would laugh and stuff like that, I would get red. Everybody started, and I was kind of chubby and big and stuff. Kids were, making fun of me. Hey, Kirby, and just stuck with me, you know. So yeah,
Could be worse.
Yeah, it could have, but yeah, that name just stuck, and I even moved to a different town, which isn't too far from where I was born, and yeah, it was that name just somehow migrated. Somebody's cousin that lives in that city, whatever. They ended up talking about me, and all of a sudden that name just migrated. So yeah, been with me since.
All right, Eric, Roundhouse Ranch Barbecue wants to know if you like barbacoa.
Oh yeah, who doesn't? Well, if you're Mexican and you don't love barbacoa, hey, that's actually something that I want to make. I haven't really been putting out a whole lot of stuff that we make as like a traditional food, but yeah, I love barbacoa. I'm gonna make it one day.
Can
you guys will see it.
Can you specify a little bit on that, Kirby?
What's
like
that?
Yeah. What it is?
Barbacoa is kind of like a. All right, have you seen my machaca video on the crock pot? It's kind of similar to that, but it's like a slow cooked roast. It's like a slow cooked beef, and it has like the chili powders. It has like the pickling spice, and it's kind of saucy. It has like crushed tomatoes in it, and it's really good, man. Like, well, in my household, we make it when we do parties because we can make a whole bunch of it. You put it in the roaster and you let it just slow cook, and yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
Sounds good. Sounds really good.
I'm gonna make a video on that.
It's the fourth meat option at Chipotle.
I don't know about Chipotle, man.
All right, Meathead wants to know, Kirby, when was the last time you had a pecan roast with potatoes and carrots?
I don't know about that. Sirloin. Sirloin. I haven't bought a sirloin in a while. I want to probably say about a year ago. But yeah, I haven't done it Red Banks and Meathead's way. But yeah, I cook it every now and then.
Lewis at Our Shack Barbecue wants to know when you're doing your next fishing video.
You know what? I just won a giveaway yesterday, actually, for $100. So, I mean, when I changed my channel up, I wanted to bring it where no matter what I do in life, I'll be able to have some content out there. Cooking is gonna be like the most content on my channel, but I love camping, and actually going into that topic, the last couple camping trips that I went to, I was trying to see if I could find YouTube videos because I had never been to these campsites before, and I actually wanted to go and or at least see some type of footage of what they look like. How big is the camp? Each little section, and I didn't find any of that information. It was just like small little clips, a little bit of B-roll, people hanging out, drinking beer, grilling up stuff. And I was like, yeah, you know what? When I changed up my channel, I wanted to make sure that I was able to implement all that stuff. So like camping is like another thing that's going to be on my channel. But as far as fishing, I just been so focused on, this cooking stuff. And, that's kind of like what I want to get known for on my channel, regardless if it's like cooking in the kitchen, barbecue, or just out on the grill. I want to be able to be known as overall cook, because I mean I do a lot. I can cook a lot. So I think once I hit my following, at least a decent following where I can say I got a decent following, then that's when I'll put out there some fishing videos and stuff like that.
Right.
All right, Leprechaun TV. They say they're not hip to your channel yet. Has you done Carne Asada or El Pastor?
I've done Carne Asada. I actually just released I actually have 2 Carne Asada videos. I got, well, 3 I could say. My steak fajita tacos, Carne Asada burrito, and Carne Asada tacos. So there's 3 that you can check out. Both of them are all seasoned by me. The first one I didn't give you the recipe of the rub, but the last 2 I did give you the recipes of the rub and how to marinate it and everything.
Well, we caught up, Scott.
Meathead Kirby, how long you been a butcher?
Ooh, professionally 2 years. Yeah, dude, I can't keep my hands steady for anything ever since I had that job, bro.
That's awesome, by the way.
Yeah, that job actually tore up probably the ligaments in my wrist, and yeah, I can't. Here, I don't know if you can probably see it, but yeah, I can't keep a steady hand. I tried doing soldering, and yeah, I just can't keep a steady hand because of it.
Alcohol fixes that.
Yeah, it gets worse when you drink coffee.
All right, Christy asked when I'm putting out an actual cooking video, which is funny because Kirby asked me that before the show. So I'm going to jump into this real quick. There will not be a hot seat next week. I'm going to see my kids and take them up to my dad's house. So it's going to be probably 2 weeks, Christy, at least. All right, back to the show. Funniest thing that's happened while recording that we never saw after editing.
Oh man, kids jumping. Oh, you know what? I got a good story. I'm doing the closeout on a video that probably took me about 4 hours to do because I was smoking up what was it? It was a whole chicken. It was a whole chicken, and I had the camera in me, and even my wife she cracks up on when she sees it. So I'm like right there. All I had to do was just say, like, comment, subscribe, and you guys have a great evening. All of a sudden, right when I was about to say like, my son comes out jumping in the kitchen, like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, that was probably the most funniest part. But I was so frustrated because I was already frustrated with the cook already because I was cooking on a new smoker that I had just bought. So I was still testing out like the temperatures and everything, and it's not too well insulated, so temperatures are all over the place. But yeah, that's probably the funniest thing because we were actually able to go back and look at that, and my wife was just crying like crazy.
It's funny. I've for the longest time tried to keep my girlfriend's kids out of the video, and one of them I was cooking something out back. And her daughter, I had actually texted her and said, hey, like, I'm recording. Let me know when you're going to be home. And I'm like midstream, like 10 minutes later, and I apparently got a text. And then here comes Emily running down, and I'm just threw her in my lap and rolled with it. And everybody kept telling me how good it was.
I got some bloopers, man. I should probably just create a whole video or maybe 2 videos just dedicated to just bloopers. It's right? Actually it's pretty funny, actually, when you look back at them.
All right. Christy's cooking channel wants to know the best and the worst thing that you've ever cooked.
The worst thing that I can tell you right now that I cooked, I tried experimenting with some ground beef and basil, fresh basil that I grew out of my garden. At that time, we had a garden. That was probably the most unhappy and unpleasant things that I created. Best? I don't know. It depends what it is. I rate my cooking depending on how thumbs up I get from the wife and the kids. If they eat and they're not complaining about the vegetables, then I did a good job.
Right.
If they're not eating their vegetables, then I did something wrong. So, yeah. I don't know. At best, I really can't really say because, I cook so many different types of things. It's really hard to say that that's like the best because, I could make something really good in Mexican food and do some really good barbecue and,
I can't remember if I asked you this. Well, let me rewind here. Barbecue Pit Dog asks, "What's your beer of choice?"
Here, I'll show you.
The Banquet beer.
The Banquet. Hey, I like Miller Lite also, Rob. And when I'm broke, I drink High Life. And if it gets to the point where I need High Life for natural light, hey, beer's beer. I'm not picky.
I see Meathead wants to know if you're going to do a pecana. I ever notice every person that says that says pecan, like they go straight white language and then they got an accent when they say pecana.
I don't know if I were to say it in like Spanish terms. Let me see how they spell it.
I think it's a Brazilian word.
Yeah, more like I don't know. What do they say? Picanha? Pacana? Pacana? I don't know. Do they want me to make it? I mean, I've never made it that way. I actually took, sirloin and actually, those actual roasts, and I actually made. I would just cut up in little strips and make steaks out of them. So hey, when that chunk of meat comes on sale, that's some pretty good steaks.
So Red's correcting me. It's Portuguese, not Brazilian. My bad.
I just know the cut of meat. Okay, I don't know where that came from.
All right, so Keith Bettag wants to know if you can do some videos with Russian recipes.
That's another cuisine I'd really have to go into. I mean, my grandma from my mother's side, she has a lot of recipes. Yeah, pierogis is one that I could say that I can make. But as far as like real authentic Russian recipes, I would really have to look into them. But yeah, I could do them.
All right, so favorite pierogi stuffing.
You know what? Me and my mother fight about this all the time, and I can never get through to her, man. They grew up on the potato and sauerkraut pierogi for years. For years, I have been asking my mom, let's try like different types of fillings, right? Potato, sausage, and cheese, And then all of a sudden, you start seeing pierogis, which they actually called it petihis. I'm not sure if that's like the original word in the language. I don't know. But yeah, for years I've been trying to tell my mom, let's try it this way. Because I'm like the type of person where I like to experiment, add certain things or say a dish is made like this. What if I add this just to give it that little extra flavor? That's my type of cooking. And yeah, when it comes to traditional cooking, my mom just does not give in, man. And she's been fighting with me that for quite some time. But I think I showed her some recipes. So I think this year for Christmas, I'm gonna knock out some different pierogis with her.
So I'm seeing somebody talking about chorizo rogis and somebody talking about barbacoa pierogis. And Mr. Mega Fred Zeppelin wants to know, has Kirby ever had pupusas?
Pupusas. All right, chorizo pierogis and barbacoa pierogis. Those are called empanadas. Okay. Yeah, pierogis are a little different. I would really want. I mean, you can. I mean, if you guys want to give me some awesome views on that, I'll do it. Pupusas. I need to see what that is.
So is the breading any difference on a pierogi versus a empanada?
A pierogi is egg noodle, kind of like pasta dough. It would be kind of like similar to your ravioli.
Right.
Okay, empanada is more like a tortilla dough,
Gotcha.
or like a fried pizza. A pupusa. Well, I'm not Salvadorian, so I really don't know what this is. That's you know what that is. It's you would consider those gorditas. Yeah. Okay. A pupusa is basically like a corn flour, and basically you make like your little smash. In Mexico, they call them gorditas. And then it's just like a fat tortilla, basically what it is, and then you just you heat it over your griddle. And then how my mother makes it is because they're kind of thick. They're about that thick. But I want to say about a half-inch thick. You slice them, and then you stuff them whatever you want. Most of the time it's bean and cheese, but people get creative on them.
Hang on, I'm typing in the chat, which nobody will see after the show because I get rid of it for this exact reason. Lewis at Our Shack Barbecue wants to know pineapple on or off a pizza.
To be honest, I've never been. I've made a lot of pies in my days. I used to work at I've worked at 3 chain restaurants, and you know what? I take that knowledge to probably the day I die, because you know what? I can make a really good pizza. I'm not picky when it comes to pizza. If you ask me what type of pizza, like if I were to be craving pizza, my pizza would be a fully loaded supreme pizza with all the meats and all the veggies. That's just how I eat. I eat with a lot of veggies, a lot of cheese, a lot of meats. Pineapple, I'm not picky on it. If you gave me a pineapple and ham pizza, even with some jalapenos, I'd eat it. But I know people don't like pineapple on their pizza. That's why I'm not too happy to, or not happy, but I'm not too enthused to answer. You know what I mean?
All right, so I'm partly scared to ask this question, but is there anything that anybody should know when they order a pizza about ordering from a chain, good or bad?
I'm going to tell you right now, just watch how you act towards the person that's taking your order. I have watched some horrible, and I didn't take part in it, just an FYI. I have witnessed a lot of horrible things that people have done to food. When you're young and you're not the manager, there's really nothing you can do. But yeah, just watch how you talk to the person taking your food, or the order of your food.
Lots of please and thank yous is what you're getting at.
Yeah. Be patient and try not to correct them too much. But yeah, just be careful.
Never ordering takeout pizza again.
Yeah, if the person actually taking your order is in a bad mood, I would try to find a different store to order some food from.
All right, so this one comes from the Barlow clan. What is your guilty food pleasure?
That would be something that I would be like just dying to get into. Man, you guys are really making a fat dude think. I would say seafood. Seafood I don't have a whole lot because I don't have fresh fish and seafood are a little different to me when people actually talk about seafood, because I mean I eat a lot of fish. Obviously I like to cook. I mean I got a bag of catfish that I caught. So I mean, fish is pretty common in my household, but seafood, octopus and shrimp and all that stuff, lobster. I would say those are the things that I don't get very often, and when I want something, that's what it would be.
Right. All right. So before the show, we were talking about. Well, let me ask this question real quick. I seen Bad Beast Barbecue. What's up, Bad Beast? Do you only drink beer or do you drink the hard stuff? If so, what's your favorite libation?
I've learned. Hey, you know what? Ever since I met my wife, I was crazy. Okay, I'll work hard, party hard. Unfortunately, I've had my days and where I had a lot of fun, and it's just beer from here. When I mix, it's a whole different Kirby.
So, what was your previous drink of choice with the mix?
Jaeger bombs and Jack and Coke with the lime. Yeah, Jack and Coke, no, or Captain Morgan and a Coke with a lime. Malibu rum, Caribou Lose. Yeah, Caribou Lose. Yeah, that one actually. If you drink Caribou Lose, you're going for a little spin. I tell you that right now.
What the hell is in a Carabaloo? I've never heard of that.
It's
Now I'm interested.
151 rum, Malibu rum, and pineapple juice.
Gotcha. Doesn't sound too bad.
It's not. It's just after too many, you're flying, dude.
So Red's Barbecue and Pizza says, do you like to get white girl wasted?
White girl wasted. Hey, just give me the Mimi time buzz, man. That's all I need. Hey, Leprechaun TV is actually correct. That's a Tech 9 drink. I'm a Tech 9 fan, by the way.
Johnny at Texas Style Cuisine. Tech 9's a rapper. I know you're not aware of that. Just filling you in.
I'm not.
All right. If Hollywood decided to make a movie about your YouTube channel, what actor would you like to portray you in the movie? And I'll give you the second option of asking your wife to yell through the room who she'd like to see if she's so inclined, or she can type in the chat.
Guy Fieri. That's it. Guy Fieri. That would be the guy. You know what? I have been rocking blonde hair and the dark bottom part since I want to say 98. So Guy Fieri would be the perfect one to fill in for me. You know, I don't have blonde hair anymore, but I went through my Eminem stage.
All right, we're getting down to the last few questions. So if you got anything, people in the chat, type now or forever hold your peace. So who would be on your personal Mount Rushmore?
Ooh. Personal Mount Rushmore. Obviously me, so that way I can get all the attention. Let me see. Does it have to be YouTube or can it be like anybody?
You could pick Dom DeLuise for all I care.
Jonathan Davis on one side, I would say Tech 9 on the other, Eminem on the third, and then, you know, since I love AB will be on the last slot row there.
Damn it. AB made the fucking Mount Rushmore.
Hey, you know what? I don't have a whole lot of friends nowadays. Now that I'm all grown up, you know, I'm a family man, dude. I keep all the friends to the side. I have, to be honest, I only have one person that's allowed at my house, really. That's not family. So, yeah, I don't really have too many coming over, man.
All right, if you could cook with one person from any time period, who would it be?
Ooh, good question. I would say Paula Dean. I don't care what she's done. I would like to pick that woman's brain on all her recipes, all her 1,000,001 recipes. That would be a good mind to pick right there.
Anything specific you want to know from her?
Everything. Dude, when it comes to this cooking game, I try to soak in as much as I can. I did the same with my mom, you know, when she would sit there and talk to me on how to make something. I paid attention to every single little thing. She might have thought that I was over here looking at the top of the refrigerator or whatever, but, you know, I paid attention to what she was doing. You know, as I got older, it became more of like, you know, what are you doing, Mom? You know?
All right, Mr. Mega Fred Zeppelin says, tell Kirby we should barbecue some flat meat and drink some beers. Rock on.
Man, you're up in Northern Cali. That would be a little trip. Unless you want to do it on Google Hangouts.
All right, we're down to the last two questions. And we're going to do like we did last week. I will put the Google Hangout in the chat. And we're going to have the after show if anybody wants to hang out. I don't know what our limit is because we had, how many people? 10 last week? I think.
I don't know.
So, all right. What's one thing most people don't know about you?
A lot. Hey, you know what? Ever since I met my wife, I've been pretty much private. You know, I really don't. I mean, when it comes to YouTube, I mean, I guess that might just change. You might just find out a whole bunch of stuff about me. There's a lot, man. I mean, I'm a college grad. I'm not sure if I've said that before. I work in IT, which I pretty much explained earlier. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm just a dad trying to support his family, you know. But anything other than that, yeah, it's all private.
Right. All right, 3 channels you watch, 1 big, 1 small, and 1 you think should be much bigger than they currently are.
All right, I'm gonna start off with the much bigger than they currently are. There's a lot of channels that I actually watch that should be bigger than what they are. One, including me. Nah, I'm just kidding on that part. There's a lot of channels though. I see some barbecue channels that are like in the 200s, 300s, and they're pumping out some solid barbecue, you know, or cooking channels. Period. And those are the type of channels that I focus on because they got a lot of technique. You know, these are the guys that are out here talking in front of the camera, not messing up, and actually showing like their food, and they're not getting the love. You know what I mean? I'm not sure what it is. I'm not, you know, maybe it might be the community they be in. Um, but yeah, those are the people that I stick with, and I you know, I really like try to, you know, give them some support because, you know, I'm not sure if maybe it might be, I don't know, tags or whatever it is. Like, you know, I even said I'm learning, but you know, yeah, I try to focus on some of those little smaller channels that are doing really good. Um, Big channels, I got turned on to Bounty Hunter D and Patty Mayo. I'm a big Dog the Bounty Hunter fan. So yeah, those. Hey, I've been actually watching that on my TV. They don't get no monetization because it's on the TV. I don't get no advertisements. Um, but some of the other big channels, First We Feast. Let me see. Cooking wise, nothing. Yeah, cooking wise, First We Feast is only the only big channel that I actually watch besides, you know, people in my cooking community that I interact with. Um, Roundhouse Ranch Barbecue. Yeah, that's another small channel that I would love you guys to go check out. What was the third question? Well, I kind of probably went back to one and
Big channel, small channel, channel you think should be bigger. So I guess you're down to small channel.
yeah, I really can't answer small channel, man. There's a lot of small channels putting in a lot of work. Um, you know, Roundhouse Ranch Barbecue. And actually, hold on, Kent. Um, why does his damn channel skip my mind right now when I'm about to say his
Because it's hard to remember.
wait, hold on. Lewis at R Shack Barbecue. That guy right there has so many damn grills, and I'm sorry for the damn. Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't give a shit.
Hey, man, I don't know why that channel is not big. I seriously don't understand it. Like hey, I love that guy's channel, and he's, you know, he's at, you know, whatever he is, but he's too, that channel right there is too low, right there for what he does.
Right.
Daddy Does Barbecue also. That's another one.
All right, so AB wanted me to tell you to talk about the couples tag or something like that. I got chicken scratch and I wrote it down terribly.
Well, I was gonna talk about that on my outro, but yeah, AB did tag me on the couples tag. Uh, Tomorrow evening, I will be live with my wife at 7 p.m. Pacific time. That would be 10 Eastern. Um, you know, yeah, it's just gonna be a quick little 1 hour episode of me and my wife going into our secrets. Nah, it's gonna be a fun little thing. You know,
Hopefully you learn from watching AB as to what answers are not appropriate.
I'm not worried about it. I kind of know pretty much my wife, and if I mess up, well, she could slap me.
Ray Mack, what's up? You are literally here at the last few minutes, but I'm glad you're here, Ray.
What's up, Ray?
All right, so Saturday you got a live stream coming up. Talk about that some.
every Saturday I do a live stream from 7 in the morning Pacific time, which would be 10 o'clock, or 10 a.m. Eastern time, for 1 hour. It's just me in the kitchen doing some breakfast. So I mean, it's not gonna be all like pancakes and waffles and all that stuff. So I'm gonna be switching it up as soon as I come up with some other stuff. But yeah, get a coffee and breakfast with me Saturday mornings.
All right, so I'm going to wrap this up. I will give you the last words, but I want to tell everybody thanks for watching. Won't be a show next week. Somebody come up with something to do on Thursday at 9 o'clock Eastern and run with it. All right, finish this up, and then when you get done, I will put the link to the hangout after the show thingy, doohickey, doesn't have a name. And we'll go from there.
Is this your earliest stream or hot seat?
What do you mean?
Yeah, because it's I was expecting like 7. I mean, I think I've been in here later than that, or it's always just been 7.
7?
Yeah.
Now, I think everyone's been at, well, 9 Eastern is when they started. I think I did one that started at 8 real early.
Yeah. Okay.
I gotta try to stay in a window where, you know, the old people aren't asleep and the people on the East Coast got to go to work in the morning.
All right, so I'll close it out. I want to give a shout out to Barbecue Pit Dog Rob. You know, that guy's awesome. And Red also. Those guys are pretty cool guys, man. I dig their channels. I dig a lot of people's channels. I watch a lot of people. You know, I'm in front of a computer probably 12 hours a day. So I see a lot of people's channels. And AB, I just want to be grateful. You know, I'm grateful to meet you and done what we've done. You know, I appreciate, you know, all the future stuff that we're going to be doing. And catch me live tomorrow, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 Eastern Standard Time for me and my wife's couple tag. So I think that's going to be a hotter hot seat than what I got tonight. And Saturday morning, 7 in the morning Pacific time, 10 a.m. Eastern time. You can check me out, and we'll be making breakfast from scratch.
I see Chris next week. Top to Michigan. All right, guys, I'm going to put the link to the hangout in the chat here, and won't see you next week, but the week after next week, I got a little surprise here I've been working on since November last year. I think you guys are going to really enjoy. So thanks for tuning in. I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
Salud.